Hi, this is Elizabeth Cermak with Your Highest Light, here every Friday at 10:30 to talk to you guys about how to attract beautiful things into your life and how to reach your own highest light. And I'm here with Prudence, a beautiful thing that I've attracted into my life. I'm here with her. She's usually here on my lap with me. So we're here today to talk about the topic of letting go. And I put something on Facebook and Instagram yesterday about this topic. I'm sorry. So this time I have the Instagram down here and I have Facebook up here because I'm trying to actually do it right where I do Facebook sideways. So that's kind of why I'm looking in different directions. But okay, so the topic is about letting go. And I wrote kind of a confession on Instagram and Facebook yesterday about how I have been telling people all week about how it's so important to let go, and that I'm like the worst at letting go. Historically, I have been really bad at letting go, but I've learned how to let go, and it's really created a lot of magic in my life. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, and how you can let go too in order to create some magic in your life. So I have 4 videos, 4 steps to attracting more beautiful things into your life. And so I that's how I started. I have these 4 steps on how to attract more beautiful things into your life. It's on my YouTube channel, but it's also on my ElizabethCermak.com page. So if you go to ElizabethCermak.com, if you go to the front page, it has 4 videos, 4 steps on how to attract more beautiful things into your life. It's kind of like manifesting, but it's really not, because I don't always say that we know exactly what we want to attract into our lives. So that is where you can find the 4 steps. Now today I'm going to talk a little bit about the second step. The first step is raising our vibration to an attitude of gratitude, and the second step is making space in our minds for more beautiful thoughts to enter. And so letting go is about creating space. So it's about creating space in our minds, but we're also going to be creating space around us in order to allow beautiful things to enter and allow our souls to expand. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about that second step. And I have to give a shout out really fast to Psychedelic Threads, Katya, that she made my dress today. So I ordered this off of Psychedelic Threads and I love her. She is awesome. This was like $10 on clearance, but she has made me so many custom-made things. A custom-made dress that I made that I wore in New York last week, John Lennon dress. She made me another dress, and she's making me another dress that I'm going to be wearing to Paul McCartney next week. So I love you, Katya. Psychedelic Threads. She's on Etsy and on Instagram if you want to check her out. So I had to give her a little shout out. Okay, so back to letting go. We're going to talk about how to let go. And I have a couple of notes here because I don't want to forget anything. So I'm glad to see some people are joining. Hi. Hi, everybody. So, okay, this week I talked about on Facebook and Instagram the new moon, and how it was the new moon. I think it was on Tuesday. And I got an email from the Power Path, Shamanic Power Path, saying that between this new moon and the fall equinox, which is today, happy fall equinox, everybody, that between the full moon, and it's actually today at 4, so there's still some time to do what I'm going to tell you to do, that we need to start clearing out our energy. So we need to start clearing things out, cleaning out the refrigerator, cleaning out drawers, doing whatever you need to do to get rid of things in order to make room for the new season, okay? So I've been posting about that on Facebook. So when you think about the new moon, think about the new moon there's no light, right? So when you go from the full moon to the new moon, you're actually, the full moon is full light in the nighttime sky, and the new moon has no light. So when you go from the full moon to the new moon, you're losing light, right? So when you go in that 14 days or whatever it is from the full moon to the new moon, you want to think about losing habits that you don't want anymore, losing things that you don't want anymore, getting rid of old habits, old patterns, whatever it is that you don't want or that you don't need in your life, okay? So that's why that time of the new moon is so important. And so from the new moon to the fall equinox, like I said, is today at 4. We still have time. We want to get rid of stuff in order to make room for the new season. I'm really excited about the new season. Even though 2 weeks ago I was wearing boots and it was freezing outside, and I was all excited for fall, and today it's like 90 degrees. So, I'm still excited though. I still love fall. And so anyway, back to the topic about letting go. So that's what we're talking about. It goes perfect with this topic goes perfect with what the fall equinox and the new moon and what we're going through right now. So that's a good thing. I love on Instagram, you could see my hand that I made at Madame Tussauds House of Wax when I was in New York. I'll show it to you on Facebook at the end. It's really cool. It's my own hand made of wax. Okay, so we're talking about the topic of letting go, and I want to tell you, I had a couple miracles happen this week. Miracles are happening all the time, but these were just some really strong things that happened to me this week. So when I got home from New York, we had the best trip. We had the best trip to New York. It was amazing. And when we got home, I was feeling sad. And so, like I said, I have a history of not being able to let things go. I couldn't let our trip to New York go. I was feeling sad. I was feeling sad that it was over. And I always talk here about how miracles are a shift in perception. And of course, the miracles would say it's a shift from fear to love, okay? And so it's not really about the outer shifts or the things that happen on the outside. It's about what happens on the inside. But when you have those internal shifts, what happens is things on the outside change. So I'm feeling sad about New York, and I think it's fine to acknowledge that I was feeling sad that it was over. Like, that's fine. We don't want to push those feelings away. So I did. I losing on Facebook. Okay, here we go. So I was losing connection, but we're back. So I thought about that it was over. I wanted to think about being happy that it happened, or going from being sad that it was over to being glad that it happened. So I thought about the perfectness of everything. And this is how I kind of am able to let things go a little bit easier, is realizing that everything is happening perfectly, how it should happen. And that trip was so perfect and so beautiful. So how could I be sad? I'm sad that it's over, but it was perfect, it was beautiful, and so is now. Everything that's happening is perfect and beautiful. And that's kind of how I was able to let that go and able to, have you guys ever had like a weekend where you realize at the end of the weekend, well, that was perfect. Everything was perfect that happened. And then you realize I wish I would have appreciated it at the time. So that's how you can start appreciating more of what's going on presently, is just recognizing that everything is happening in perfect timing. You don't have to try so hard. Okay, so if you're just joining, I'm talking about letting go, and I also forgot to mention that I do a tarot card reading at the end. So we're going to do a tarot card reading today about this topic. So I was feeling sad about New York. I was able to reframe it, be happy that it happened instead of sad that it was over, and I kind of went through all those feelings. And what happened was I texted my husband for some reason. I think I had to do this. It was like a detox. So this just goes to prove that what you say doesn't really matter. It's how you feel. So I texted my husband, I was sad that New York was over. And, but I had already gone through the process of being glad that it happened. It was just kind of like the last thing that I had to do. I had to text him just to tell him. And he responded right away with, somebody just emailed us about Paul McCartney tickets. And so we're seeing Paul McCartney in 2 more weeks. And at a nearby, and we have tickets for the second night. We have awesome third row center seats for the second night, and we don't have tickets for the first night. That is so unlike us. We always have tickets. I don't like not having tickets. I like to have the plan. So now my husband is a law of attraction expert without even knowing it. He's one of those annoying people who can do this stuff without even knowing that he's doing it. So this was a while ago. We had no tickets. Facebook is, there we go. Okay, it's cutting it out. So I asked my husband, I said, what do we do? Shouldn't I put it on, Fans on the Run is our Facebook group where it's a huge group of fans who follow Paul and stuff like that. So I said, should I put it on our Fans on the Run page that we want tickets? Should I put that up there that we want tickets? How are we going to get tickets? They're like $3,000 on StubHub. We're not going to find any tickets. And my husband says, no. He just said, no, don't put it up. And I was like, okay. So I just did it. But we both wanted tickets. Well, guess what? Somebody emailed me, a Fans on the Run, who I have never met, who I'm friends with on Facebook. Thank you. You know who you are. I love you. And she asked if we wanted tickets for the second show. She had these awesome seats for an awesome price. And I'm sorry, for the first show. And it was a miracle because nobody's ever emailed me. We never have needed tickets. If there's a nearby show, we've never needed them. Nobody's ever emailed me asking me if I need tickets for any show. And this he's playing a million times. Just so happens that she emailed me and has the tickets for the show that we needed. So I know that had to do with the shift in energy that I had from fear to love. I let it go. I let that trip to New York go, be happy that it was there. And I kind of was able to just see everything perfectly as it is and realize that everything happens at perfect timing. And then suddenly we get this excitement. And, the energy I put out there of excitement, that law of attraction, she responded to it and emailed me. And so now we have tickets for both shows for 2 weeks. So it was just really cool. That was one of the miracles that happened. And it was the internal shift that really brought it to us. Okay, so I wanted to talk more about this is more about Paul McCartney shows, as it always is, but there's something deeper going on. So I wasn't going to share this, but I decided that I wanted to. So this week, I found this out before I left on our trip, that I have like 4 jobs, okay? So one of my jobs is not going to be there anymore, basically. I found that out before going on my trip. And psychically, I knew it was coming. I thought it would be more towards the beginning of next year. I thought it would be more towards my accord. But it was just something that happened that it was one of those, it was from God. It was from the universe telling me that it's time to move on. I already knew that it was. I'm so thankful for that job. I love that job. It really, and I think when we let things go, and I did that same thing with the trip to New York, when you're thankful for it and you're happy that it happened, you can give it gratitude, and then you can let it go easier than just saying, I hate that job, or I hated that trip, or whatever, that you're holding on to things that way. So I'm very thankful for that job, but I found out that it wasn't going to be there basically anymore. It was one of those jobs that's not going to be there anymore. So in the past, I could have catastrophized this. Even though I wanted, in a way, I kind of wanted it to happen and knew that it was going to happen, I could have gone to, oh my God, I'm not going to make enough money. What am I going to do? This is horrible. There was a part of me that wanted to go there, that was kind of used to going there, but I decided not to. This is God's plan. This is the universe's plans for me. This is creating more space in my life. So when we talk about letting go and creating space, this is what's happening. So I decided to be thankful for it. And even though I wanted to go there, and I might have gone there a little bit, I was drawn in that direction, I didn't let myself go there. So coming back from the trip was kind of a downer, right? And I was thinking about that job, and it was harder not to go there. And I got that new moon email, and so I decided, you know what, I'm going to just, right now, there's nothing I can do right now, this instant, to fix any of this. So what I'm going to do is go through old paperwork and go through an old drawer. Like, I just wanted to go through old stuff and purge, So I got that email, I decided to go through old stuff and purge, and what happened was I actually redid my budget with the new job being gone, and I didn't like what I saw necessarily in my checking account. So it was okay. I didn't get, and I've read so many books, not so many, I've read this 1 or 3 series of books that's called Money Magic, where it's about manifesting money. And so I know about manifesting, so I know that you're not supposed to do your budget in a frantic thinking that everything's horrible. So, which is very hard when you don't have any money. But anyway, so I did my budget. I didn't like what I saw in my checking account, but I stayed calm, and I just kind of pictured a number, like what I'd like to see in my checking account. And I didn't really it wasn't really even a visualization, it was more of the feeling. What would I feel like if I had that much money in my checking account? And I would feel very secure. I would feel secure. And I just kind of emanated that feeling of feeling secure. And not even for very long. They say you have to do it for a certain amount of time. I didn't do it for very long. And so what I did was I went through old paperwork and stuff, and I cleaned stuff out, and I found this account that I knew that I had. So I knew that I had the account, but I thought I had like $100 in it. I thought I had like nothing in this account. And I signed up on my email and got everything, and found out that what I have in this account is the exact number that I had visualized in my checking account. So it was just crazy, crazy, crazy. And so I put something on Instagram and Facebook and said, when you clean things out, you don't know what you're going to find. You don't know what you're going to make room for. So you make room for new things. I'm a huge fan of the KonMari method and of the life-changing magic of tidying up. And, excuse me, so I do really believe that when we get rid of things, whether they're mental or physical, whatever it is, that we're making room for new things to grow. Or for new things to come in. And I was thinking about it before doing this video. I love fashion. So, we don't want to keep anything that's outdated. And even I was thinking about this too, even when things come back in style, you don't necessarily want what you had back in the 80s. You want to go out and get your new leg warmers that they have today that are way cuter, okay? So you want to make room. You want to be thankful for what you had, give it back to the universe, and make room for something that's new. Okay, so I hope that serves you guys today. And I'm going to check my notes because I made some notes. I want to make sure I didn't forget anything. Okay, so I want you guys, whoever's watching, whether this is now or whether this is later, I want you to think about something that you want to let go. It could be a habit, something that you don't want, a habit that you don't want anymore. It could be a pattern, a thought pattern. It could be like worrying. Excuse me. It could be a boyfriend, it could be anything, something that you need to let go. And so the first thing that comes to your head, I just want you to think about it right now because we're going to do more about it later. But, and the other thing that I want to make sure I talk about is that when something is trying to leave your life, don't hold on to it. So like when that job is trying to leave, I'm not trying to hold on to it. If you have a boyfriend that's trying to leave or a girlfriend that's trying to leave, don't hold on to that because that is the universe trying to tell you there's something better coming. So if something is trying to leave you, don't hold on to it. If it's your kids that they're trying to grow up, that's a good thing. So you don't hold on to it. That is something else that I wanted to make sure that I talked about today. So, okay, we're going to do a card reading, and we're going to do with Radleigh Valentine and Doreen Virtues. We're going to do with their Angel Tarot cards. That's the deck that I was trained on mostly. So this is where our experiment comes in. So I want you guys to think about any of my viewers. This goes for now or for later. We're going to do a 3-card reading. And I want you to think about anything that you need to let go. So something that you need to let go. And we're going to ask for angel messages about this. So we're going to ask for advice on how to let it go or what is in the future for you if you do let it go. Okay. So I'm gonna keep shuffling because we're not ready yet. Okay, so one more. This will be the final one. Okay, so we got some cool cards here. The first card is, okay, I'm looking at them and this is awesome. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Okay, so the first card is the 5 of Water. And this is our past card. So this is the card that is in the position of the past. So the 5 of Water says, things not turning out the way you'd hoped. Not seeing the positive in a situation and crying over spilled milk. Now this card is in the past. So whoever's watching, when you think about it, it's kind of what I described today. Make sure that you're not crying over spilled milk, okay? Just because things didn't work out the way that you hoped doesn't mean that things aren't working out perfectly the way they're supposed to. That this is God's way or the universe's way of telling you that to let go, okay? So that's perfect. You're not seeing the positive in the situation. That's kind of like what I described, like if I was not to see the positive in the situation of my job changing or of the trip ending or whatever. So whatever it is that's in your past, I paused for a second, so we're gonna have to wait. Sorry, guys. Okay, so it says pause due to poor connection, reconnecting. I might end and then reconnect. Oh, no, there we go. Okay, so whatever it is in the past, it's time to let it go. Don't cry over spilled milk, okay? So this is the future. I mean, this is the present. The 2 of Fire is the present. Hi, Anna. Okay, so the 2 of Fire. And this is an awesome card for the present. This means that something new is happening. It says you've come into your own, new partnerships or contracts, and continue to move forward. It means that you're in the exact right place at the right time. that there's new partnerships or new contracts coming for you, and to continue to move forward. So this is perfect for the present. I can believe it. The cards never lie, but sometimes they totally amaze me. So for the future, oh my gosh, we got the Nine of Earth, enjoying life's little luxuries. And on this card, guess what it says? Successful self-employment. So this is what's telling me that if you are able, any of my watchers, if you're able to let go of something, you've got something so cool waiting for you in the future. Because that's a question I asked, right? Was if you are able to let go of whatever it is that you're thinking about, what does the future hold for you? And this card is saying enjoying life's little luxuries, successful self-employment. So it's spending quiet time alone. So it looks like abundance is waiting for you in the future if you are able to let go of whatever it is that you want to let go of. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. It was a great reading. What an awesome reading. And I've enjoyed having all of you guys today. It looks like we're back on, so that's good. So Prudence and I are going to sign off. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next Friday, even though I am going to see Paul McCartney again next weekend, but I will still be here next Friday. So peace and love. Prudence is going to say goodbye too. Goodbye. Love you guys. Oh, I wanted to show you the hand. Well, on Instagram you can see the hand, and let's see, on Facebook I want to kind of move it up so you can see it. See my piece? That's the hand, my hand of wax. How cool is that? Okay, love you guys. I'll see you. Have a great weekend. Have a great Friday. Happy fall equinox, and I hope that everything goes great for you. Bye.